Have you ever faced a problem so big that you felt it might break you? What if I told you that problems are the pathway to progress and they might actually lead you to a breakthrough? First, we have a sip of coffee. Cheers. Now we can start. Welcome to the PUSHIN P podcast. This podcast is a playground for personal development. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, think about the playground, right? When you're out there as a kid, you are having fun, enjoying yourself, trying new things, you're getting active, you're getting in there, you're getting your hands dirty, you might even get injured. So hopefully no one gets injured while they're listening. But let's continue. This is a place where we can develop our skills and share them with each other as well and help everyone progress to the next level and reach their potential. The theme of this week's episode is problems are the path to progress. Understanding this helped me progress faster in areas that were meaningful to me and high leverage in my life. This is important to me because seeing problems as possibilities to progress allows you to have a pathway forward. When you don't look at it like that, then problems just become big in your face and they become more powerful than you. And it really puts you in a position where you feel like you can't do anything and there's no possibility to move forward. So this is going to help you shift your perspective. I'm going to share a short story of how I use this simple framework to push through my problems and make real progress. I was feeling stuck, stressed out, overwhelmed until I used this framework to shift my perspective and actually start solving my problems in life. About 3 years ago, I was not in great shape, both physically and mentally. Even though I was training, I was in the gym, I was doing 10K plus steps per day, I was dieting here or there and doing the occasional run, there was a piece missing that was really a major piece that was dragging me down. That piece was a major health problem that I was avoiding and was holding me back. I was telling myself that health is a core value of mine, but my actions were not aligned with that. My major health problem was an inguinal hernia. So if you don't know what that is when your intestine pokes through a hole in the abdominal wall and it's just protruding through there. And it could be small, it could be large, but a lot of them start small and then grow to become larger if they are not treated by surgery. Now, you're probably thinking, that's gross. It sounds a bit nasty. It was nasty. And to make matters worse, it was in the lower region, which basically gave me a third nut. So this was becoming very uncomfortable. I couldn't do normal things like exercise properly, run, even walking would sometimes be extremely uncomfortable. Sometimes it wouldn't be painful at all, but other times it was so bad that I would just have to go home and like lay down and try and push it back in or something like that. But I would also exclude myself from social settings because it would become too uncomfortable. And yeah, it was having a major impact on my health and my mental health as well. But for some reason, it could have been because of fear of the surgery or fear of the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen, or just thinking that the problem would be worse after, the recovery would be worse than actually having the hernia. Then I put it off. I continued to go about my daily life without getting this fixed. And as you can imagine, by avoiding this problem, it just made it worse and worse. And it was growing more painful, more uncomfortable. And this was becoming a major, major problem. Obviously, this was impacting me physically because I couldn't go to gym as normal. I couldn't run or walk as normal and even go out in social settings. So this was also impacting my mental health. And the fact that I was lying to myself, saying that health is a core value, was just making things even worse. Then one day I was sitting down thinking about my goals and which direction I want to head in life. And while I was doing this with my problems directly staring at me right in my face, it clicked. The question popped into my head: how can you say that health is a core value if you have this major problem that you are not even solving? If it was important to you, you would make it a priority to solve that problem and progress in that area. I quickly flipped to a blank page in my book, and this framework came to mind. This is a framework I like to call the problems to progress framework. And this is how you do it. So first of all, just get a blank page, and then what you want to do is do a horizontal line across the top and then 2 vertical lines down the middle. This should create 3 columns. Then at the top of each column, you're going to put a heading there. One's going to say problem, one's going to say solution, and the next one is going to say action. In the first column, you're going to want to put down all your most painful problems. And then the second column, you're going to put your ideal solution to that problem. And the third column, you're just going to write down an action step. Now, with this action step, just make it the first most simple thing that you can do towards solving that problem. This will give you the clarity to move forward, help remove procrastination, and give you a direction. Once you've done this, congratulations. You have just created your personal pathway to progress. This is one of the most purpose-driven activities that you can do because it is solving problems that are meaningful to you. Here are some of the key lessons that I learned along the way. Reframe problems as possibilities to progress. Problems lose their power when you plan a logical solution. Keep it simple. You know the problem best, you most likely know the solution, and the first action is the easiest thing that you can do towards solving your problem. It's easy to find the things that bother you most. Write them down on paper, get them out in front of you, and then attach a solution to it. Do not allow yourself to put down the problem without the solution. Keep the action steps simple so that you actually complete them. Break big problems into small actionable steps. Becoming aware of the problem, the solution, and the action gives you more awareness and then allows you to choose the positive side to focus rather than just seeing the negative side with no way out. Solving your most painful problems is going to level you up into the next version of yourself and is the ultimate form of personal development. By solving the obvious problems, you also solve non-obvious problems as well. So in my example, by solving my problem of my hernia, it was solved by a surgery, so I no longer had that hernia. But that was the direct solution. That was the direct problem that was solved. The indirect ones were also that fixed my mindset and things that were attached to my identity, because it reinforced the identity of a problem solver as I was not ignoring problems, and that health was actually a core value of mine, and I'm someone who takes action. So there were deeper, unseen things that were also stemming from solving that major problem. Here's what the framework looked like for me in my example. When I got clear on the problem, my hernia, then I thought of the solution, surgery. Then from there, I had an action step, which was contact the doctor. And then I just solved the problem from there. Stay persistent. The bigger the problem, the more steps are likely involved. Break it down into small actionable steps that you can complete and then move to the next one. If you try this simple problem to progress framework, you will shift your perspective and progress faster than you ever have before. There are many successful people who emphasize the importance of problem solving. Here are a few quotes that I like. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problems you solve. Elon Musk. If you define the problem correctly, you almost have the solution. Steve Jobs. Our problems are man-made, therefore they may be solved by man. No problem of human destiny is beyond human beings. John F. Kennedy. We are continually faced by great opportunities that are brilliantly disguised as insoluble problems. Lee Iacocca. We shall find the problem when we examine the problem, the answer is never apart from the problem. The answer is the problem. Understanding the problem dissolves the problem. Bruce Lee. If you're unsure what your purpose is, then there is no better purpose than solving your problems. When you solve problems for yourself, you create personal progress. When you solve problems for others, you help society progress. Start by solving small problems in your own world before solving big problems in everyone else's world. Start by solving small problems in your world before attacking the big problems of the rest of the world. This will help build momentum, confidence, and equip you with the tools to help others. Here's a takeaway question for this episode. Here's a takeaway question. What is the one problem in your life that, if solved, would make everything else easier? Here's an action step for you guys. At the end of the podcast, grab a pen and paper, draw out this problem to progress framework, and try it for yourself. See if it works for you and let me know if it helps. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you got value from this. If you did, I ask you, could you please share this, like, comment, let me know so I can keep making more and keep improving as well. Keep pushing. Let's go.